Hey everyone, this is Scott from Forgot to Grow Up. Welcome to our Good Omens Thoughts video. I just finished watching the 6 episodes of the mini-series based on the Neil Gaiman book, Good Omens, and I'm just going to share my general thoughts. I might spoil a few things, so if you haven't watched the series yourself, or if you're concerned about spoilers, then you might want to come back to this video after finishing the series. But yeah, I just finished watching the 6 episodes, like I said, and I really loved this. I knew I was going to like it because I like everything Neil Gaiman does. Any TV show or movie that's been adapted, I already liked. American Gods was one of the last TV shows of his that was last properties of his was adapted. So I was super excited when I heard about this, and it did not disappoint. I've read the Good Omens book I've read about 60% of it. I got about 150 pages to go to finish it, but I've read a good chunk of it, so I had an idea of what this was about and what was going to happen, so I was really curious to see how well it, matched up with the book, especially considering Neil Gaiman himself was heavily involved with this. He was a producer. I believe he wrote pretty much every episode, and it really shows. It really shows how much he was involved with the creation of this, because it was like the book came to life. Like, even down to certain lines that characters were saying, I can remember reading in the book just even last week. Like I said, I'm still reading it. So that was just awesome, just to see it, like, just such a perfectly kind of adapted one. Like, I'm always up for a new adaptation of the source material, but it's also great to see when they're able to 100%, or what seems like to me to do get pretty close to 100% accurate to the books, making the book seem like it comes to life. Obviously they don't get everything, but it does seem like pretty close. I couldn't pick out anything in particular that stuck out to me, except for a few things they might have expanded on, but I'm also like, I didn't know if I just hadn't gotten to that part in the book yet. So, but yeah, overall, like I said, I really enjoyed this. The cast was great, with David Tennant as Crowley and Michael Sheen as Aziraphale. I'm not sure if I said that right, but those two were great. Their chemistry, where you see that they like each other, but they know they're not supposed to, and just it was just great. I love the devil and angel, or demon and angel friendship that they're pretending isn't a friendship, and it was just great. I really enjoyed watching the two of them. It felt like the book. I already had their pictures in my mind when I was reading the book, because the trailer had come out and that would introduce me to the book. But nonetheless, I still felt like these characters, I felt like they both jumped right out of the book onto the screen and decided to just show me a video version of it. But I just thought those two were great. John Hamm as Gabriel, I didn't know he was going to be in this series. The fact when I saw him pop up, I guess I forgot it from the trailer, but seeing him pop up and how much we got of him as Gabriel, I just loved. Every scene he was in was just so John Hamm and so great. He just really fit the role of this kind of dickhead angel, and he was so like self-important. I really enjoyed it, and I thought it felt right. Like, really, it was really interesting contrast to our two main characters. Like, they're a little bit more lighthearted. They're on the human side. They've spent their whole 6,000 years of existence on Earth, which is another fun thing about this one too, is they don't like shy away from the fact that this is a story about heaven and hell, and about about Armageddon coming to pass. So I really enjoy that they didn't like shy away from everything. You start the series off with them explaining to you how old the universe is and exactly what's coming down in a fun, very Neil Gaiman kind of way. And so I really enjoyed that. I just really enjoyed this whole series. I thought it was really great. But yeah, besides just the main cast, I really enjoyed pretty much all the characters. I didn't think anybody, I didn't think anybody stood out as not fitting in and fitting the roles fitting the characters from the book just perfectly. I thought everybody did a great job. I just really enjoyed everybody in the characters, and I was just in the show. So that's when the acting and stuff is great, is when you're not taken out of it by any things sticking out. So I really enjoyed all the casting and the characters. I really enjoyed the story. Like I said, I haven't finished reading the book, but it seems like it's pretty accurate to the book, what goes down in this, maybe with a few exceptions, but overall it seems pretty close, even down to the 4 horsemen and the one of them being pollution. I love these little things. Neil Gaiman's so brilliant, and I'm glad I got to see this show and that it exists. But yeah, some of my favorite parts from this series, like I said, I already mentioned the first episode, how it starts off with us getting a little history, but we also see the Garden of Eden scene. We see Adam and Eve kind of eating the apple, and the fact that it was Crowley who, it was the serpent who tempted them, but it was also Azrael who was supposed to be guarding the tree. And so that's how we start off their story and their friendship, them being like, oh, well, it can't be that bad. And this like running joke with a fire sword that Azrael gave to Adam and Eve just to make sure that they were going to be okay. And it's just, I just love that that's how we also start off by seeing these two characters, them both being not kind of on the gray side. Neither of them are full light or dark. They're both a little bit kind of in the middle, which is where humans are supposed to fall in a sense. So I just really enjoyed that first bit in the scene, and then we get the baby mix up, the Antichrist supposed to end up with one family, gets to end up with another, just because nuns can't communicate properly, and Crowley couldn't be bothered to see the thing through properly. It was just a whole thing of miscommunication, which I love. I love that it wasn't some kind of grand, mistake or anything. Like, it was just people assuming things, assuming information that isn't correct. And so I just really enjoyed that. I liked the four horsemen in this, their introduction, the way we get introduced to each of them was just great little scenes, and just they're each just so unique that I thought they just did a great job bringing those characters to life. And then I really like how their stories end. I don't want to spoil that, but I do like how the apocalypse ends up going down. So that was really great. Some stuff from like the third episode I really checked. I actually really love the whole third episode, because that one they go really into retelling what retelling Azrael's and Crowley's time on Earth. We get to see how they were first there at the Garden of Eden, and then they were there at the crucifixion and Noah's Ark, and all these different events in history where they were around, even as far as being around to help Shakespeare with a couple get some crowds there and a few lines here and there. So I really enjoyed the third episode, us getting their pretty much their backstory about their time on Earth. I really enjoyed that episode. Some of the other things I liked was Adam's character, the Antichrist, the son of the devil himself, the one who's supposed to bring about the apocalypse. I thought that was such an interesting character. Yes, he's a kid, he's a little bit bratty, but that's also, I think, part of what this story is about kind of, putting yourself in the shoe of the Antichrist a little bit. Because if we all had the power to shape reality, we might go a little power crazy at first, but then it's the people around us who keep us grounded. So I really enjoyed that. I like that we got to see his imagination come to life. They got aliens, UFOs, Atlantis shows up, if there's a Kraken. I dug it all. I love that they just decided to throw this all at the world, and then and then with it ending, I don't want to talk about the ending, but I really enjoyed that, like us getting, like, seeing the fact, like, the extent of his powers, and the fact that you give these powers to a child who doesn't know he has them, and chaos ensues, or Armageddon in this case. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. Oh, another really fun part about this whole one was the Queen soundtrack. This whole series is just full of Queen songs. Every time there's a car radio on, it is playing a different Queen song, and I really enjoyed that. I thought it helped kind of made you feel like that this kind of maybe was taking place in a different era. I think it was kind of fun because the book was written in 1990, or the book was released in 1990. I don't know how long it took them to write that before that, but it was released in 1990, so that's almost 30 years ago now since that was released. So it's kind of funny to see how they Queen is still obviously very popular, especially with certain movie that just came out recently, but I just thought it was interesting that they kept that. I can't remember exactly if that's a thing that's referenced a bunch in the book or not, but I just didn't really enjoy that the extent to which they use Queen. It makes you never forget that you're in Britain, that's for sure. But yeah, I already mentioned how I loved all of John Hamm's scenes every time he showed up in his interaction with mainly Azrael, but there's even one scene in this one episode where he's going into Azrael's bookstore, and he's trying to be nonchalant, but because he's an angel and he has spent no time on Earth, he doesn't know what nonchalant is, so he's just telling everybody in this shop what he's doing, which was buying pornography, according to his second in command. But I just really enjoyed that, and all of John Hamm's scenes. I thought he added a great little fun bit to this as kind of this, I don't want to say adversary, but kind of thorn in the Azrael and Crawley's, I don't want to say plan, because they didn't really have a plan. Their plan was just trying to stop Heaven and Hell's plan. Yeah. But anyways, I really enjoyed that. I enjoyed all the scenes, obviously, with the two main characters. I thought their interaction was great, like I already mentioned. What else do I have? Oh, spoiler, this one thing of the things I'm going to be mentioning from the end, so if you haven't finished watching it, maybe just cut out it now. But one of the things I liked about how it did end was how the two get out of trouble after, because they both didn't go along with, Heaven or Hell's plan, and so there had to be a little bit of a repercussion on that, and I really, really enjoyed the way those two get out of it and how they manage to, let's say, con Heaven and Hell into thinking certain things, but and getting themselves kind of off the hook for treason nonetheless. But I just really enjoyed that, and yeah, that's my general thoughts for the most part about this. Could keep going and talking about every little detail about this show that I really enjoyed, but you should just go watch it yourself so you could see all the things you enjoyed. My recommendation, obviously, is that everybody go watch this, because I think everybody should watch Neil Gaiman stuff and read Neil Gaiman stuff, because he's brilliant. His stuff is just so imaginative and so, just so great. I just love it, and I think, yeah, everyone should go watch this. It's just a miniseries. It's 6 episodes. You don't have to worry about, is there going to be more seasons than that? Nope. I believe it's only going to be this 6 episodes, and that'll be it. But yes, go watch the show. Then go buy the book and read the book, and then watch the show again. Or go buy the book, read the book, then watch the show, then read the book again, and then watch the show again. It's all up to you, but you should just watch the show and read the book nonetheless. But yeah, that's all my thoughts about Good Omens. If you have seen Good Omens, be sure to let me know in the comments below what you thought about it, if you liked it, if you didn't. I'm always curious to hear those thoughts. But thanks again for joining me today. Sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and have a good one.